That was close. That was touchy. Well, maybe it wasn't close, actually, but that was definitely a lot more difficult than it needed to be in the end. Manchester City, though, have taken 6 wins out of their first 6 Premier League games. 18 points out of 18. And even though we tried to mess it up, well, Rodri tried to mess it up for us. I love him, man. I love you, Rodri. We still managed to grind out the result in the end. Of course, the headline from this game is that Rodri got himself sent off, and it was a red card. I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit here and defend him. It was stupid. It was silly. It was stupid, man. I love you, Rodri, but you can't. It's 2023, mate. If this is 1994, you could probably get away with that, but you can't get away with putting your hands around someone's neck in 2023. You can't do it, mate. So I'm not going to complain about that. I am not going to complain about it. It was stupid. He will get his comeuppance, and I'm sure Rodri's right now in the dressing room fronting up big time. I'm sure he's like, guys, I'm sorry. I'm sure he's paying for everyone's dinner tonight. I'm sure he's already got a massive order on Deliveroo lined up right now to pay for everyone's food and all that kind of stuff. Because you got to call it out. It was stupid. It's absolutely stupid, and Pep will probably absolutely bollock him. He probably will do, because you'll go, you've just put yourself out of Wolves game, Newcastle game, Arsenal game, the most important one, at the Emirates. That is the thing, at the Emirates. So that is the big issue there. That is the headline. The other headline, of course, is that we went 6 out of 6. We need to talk about that. The first half was excellent at times. The football was sumptuous. It was charismatic. It was full of flair and a little bit of control. And it was brilliant at times. Absolutely brilliant. But, you know, we sort of made... It's like Rodri decided that the game was going too comfortably and decided to do something stupid. It's weird to get past that one moment from Rodri, but we sort of have to. We'll talk about the game overall. Like, we were very good, if not a little bit sloppy in the first half. There was moments of sublime brilliance, and then moments of like, okay, football. The second half was a totally different story, of course, framed by that red card. We had to find a way to dig our heels in. Pep went incredibly aggressive. He turned into like a sort of, you know, quasi like 5 at the back thing. He did sort of something like this where he had Ake sort of as a left wing back, Kyle Walker as a left wing back. Phil Foden was tasked with running with Phillips in the middle with Nunes. Haaland sort of the sacrificial lamb up here on his own. Guardiola played left centre back, Diaz and Akanji. It was a deep team with everyone sort of hanging in, and they did it really well in the end, man. It was about the defence, and we didn't really concede many big chances. In fact, I was really impressed with how well we kept that door very locked. I mean, it's not even that we had to do that much last-ditch defending either. We were just too good defensively for him in the end, which was impressive, you know. It was good. And when you look at the stats in the end, you know, if you go to the statistics from this game, look, City was still... You know, they had 10 shots in the end, but only 3 on target. A lot of them were sort of speculative shots, as you can tell by the XG there. City still were the better team, 1.33 XG compared to their 0.8. So they didn't really threaten City's goal that much. You know, a couple of moments, Awoniyi went behind. Awoniyi? I can't pronounce it. I'm so sorry. Awoniyi. His name absolutely flummoxes me. I can't deny it. He went through and kind of tried to lob Ederson. Ederson lost his temper a little bit. Everyone needed to calm down at that point. But other than that, there wasn't really much other than a great Ederson save towards the end. And it didn't really count for much in the end, you know. I was sort of content with how well the players dug their heels in. Guys, I would say if you are joining this stream, you are a Manchester City fan, if you do like this kind of content, even if you're an Arsenal fan and you like this kind of content, I don't care who you support, please do give this video a like. Please do help support the channel. And please do subscribe to it as well. Let's get those subscribers up. Awoniyi. Is that right? I can't pronounce it, mate. Thank you, Marcus, for breaking it down for me. Please get the likes up. The syllables don't follow very nicely for me in my mouth. I can't explain it. It's just, it doesn't float around my mouth very nicely. But either way, please get the likes up and subscribe to the channel. The thing is, it does leave the question mark, of course, of how are we going to deal with Arsenal. We'll get onto that in a bit. I want to give certain players some props beforehand. Especially Mr. Philip Foden. He was man of the match today. And what I liked about Phil today was that it was a really mature performance. Phil, in the first half, effervescent, skillful, creative. In the second half, Phil played like your man who's been there for an awful long time. That was a leadership performance from Phil Foden. He used the ball smartly. He carried it up the pitch really intelligently. He pressed. He was intelligent. He got his goal. Phil was really good. And even though, of course, that we didn't have the ball much in the second half, he still had 96% pass accuracy. accuracy. That is ridiculous. I know in the first half he had 100%. So that means he only gave the ball away twice in the second half, despite being down at 10 men. That is really, really impressive, man. That's really impressive despite everything. And he was everywhere, working hard. As you can see by that heat map, the guy was covering every angle of the pitch. And you've got to admire that, man. You've got to admire that. A cracking player, an absolute cracking player. And he played like a senior man out there today. And you've got to respect that. You've got to respect that. Phil Foden, wonderful stuff. Worked really hard. And of course, his goal, beautiful stuff as well. Absolutely beautiful stuff from Phil Foden. Elsewhere, that was a sort of baptism of fire from Matheus Nunes as well. He obviously was a little bit quieter in the second half, but he still did the shifts, man. 92% pass accuracy. He worked. And he was there aggressively kind of mixing it in with everyone else. Calvin Phillips came on. He had a nice little cameo, Calvin. I don't think he stood out or anything like that, but he was okay. He sort of just about everywhere. And I saw someone on Twitter saying maybe he should have been a little bit more calm in moving around. Probably he should have been, but, I think it's, it was fine. Nunes, someone saying in the chat that he was average. Look, you've got to base it on the game. In the first half, he was good. He was genuinely good. Second half, quieter, which is understandable. The first half, by the way, Jeremy Doku, yet again, really smart. Really smart. Like, a lot of people were saying that Doku was raw and all this kind of stuff, but absolutely, Doku was just lively, man. He was lively. Some of his link-up play with Alvarez, absolutely excellent in that first half. He, along with Julian Alvarez, was a bit of a sacrificial lamb, of course. They had to go off with the shape in the system, but they had good performances. That man there, Josko Vardial at left back, he had a really impressive game. I was really defensively very solid, man. He won every ground duel, 4 clearances, 1 block shot, 2 interceptions. Just excellent. He was solid. He was a bit like a brick wall out there. A really impressive performance. But overall, this was a performance built on a little bit of grit and a little bit of flair. Sort of what you'd want. But in different circumstances, you want to see it all the time. But ultimately, we got the job done. It does bring the question about, how are we going to deal with the Arsenal game? Look, let's sort of try and build it. Wrong button there. This is sort of the team, how we ended the game. Let's just sort of judge the game. I think it'll be this. I think this will... I'm going to put that Alvarez. He won't play there. I'll bring him back on the pitch, Grealish. I think it's going to look like something like this. I think what we'll see is... I think Kovacic will be back. I think Silva will be back as well, Bernardo Silva, and I think it'll be something like this eventually. Let me build the shape. I think Kovacic and Bernardo will play together, and I think we'll see something like that against Arsenal. And that is still... it's a strong team, man. Like, I think we'll play Grealish because I think he'll want the composure a little bit. Look, City Facebook group saying something about Rodri's family. How would they know that, man? They're just guessing. They're just trying to justify an idiot reaction. I can't say it's anything about his family. Like it'd be crazy to even guess that, mate. They're trying to lip read based off nothing. Like, Facebook groups will make up anything. The Rodri, I don't care what was said. There was nothing he could have said. Yeah, he was mad, but you know what? Like, the idea that every player's mum gets called every single game. Of course they do. He lost his head, and he shouldn't have done. It's irrelevant. Stones would be played SDL, but I don't think he's going to be available. I think it'll be something like this. I think Grealish will play because he'll want the composure. I mean, it could be that he plays Nunes, but I think he'll go for Bernardo. I think he'll play for Bernardo and Kovacic. Nunes got an assist today, Nerland. What are you on about, mate? He played really well. He got a beautiful assist for Haaland. I think you're forgetting that part. I think you just, if we're being honest, Neil, I think you just don't rate him. So just admit it. He could play a Kanji as well. But I don't think he should do. I think he should play something like this. It's a good team, man. It's a good team. Will Bernardo be ready for that? He'll be ready for Arsenal, definitely. This is the Arsenal game. He'll definitely be ready for that. He said about 10 days. So that he'll be more than back. City don't play Arsenal until... let's have, what date did they play Arsenal? Look, we've got a whole bunch of games. Arsenal the 8th of October. Like, lads, that's like 2 and a bit weeks away. Stones might be back by then. You don't even know. Maybe it was that. Look, let's be honest. It's not worth worrying about. Until then, we've got Newcastle, we've got Wolves, we've got RB Leipzig. We've got 2 weeks of football between then. We will see how it goes. Phillips won't play. Phillips won't play against Arsenal. There's no chance, man. We'll see how it goes. Look, I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater and presume everything's going to be terrible. We will be calm. Phillips ain't going to play in that game, mate. There's no chance. I thought Phillips did fine when he came on. But no, who would you rather have? Bernardo Silva and Kovacic alongside each other, or Phillips? Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva is a world-class central midfielder, and Kovacic has been excellent. It'll be those two. Alvarez and Foden ahead of him. Might be Rico Nunes. It's not. It's going to be Kovacic and Phillips. Like Bernardo. It's obviously going to be Kovacic and Bernardo. Kovacic will be back for the next game. It's absolutely going to be that. We know it's going to be that. And also, someone said Rodri should not get paid next week. Look, Thea, we don't need to castigate and turn Rodri into a villain. He'll be apologetic. He lost his head. Pep doesn't fine people for getting a red card. He fines people for doing stuff outside the club. He'll bollock him, but he won't fine him. We don't need to. Look, if players understand the consequences of their actions, that is it. That's it. You tell them off, then you let it go. That's what mature people do. You don't need an arbitrary fine for the sake of it, I think Kyle Walker said that Pep doesn't fine players. He makes them apologise to their teammates and makes them buy them dinner. You know what I mean? That's it. That's what it'll be. Rodri's too smart to not know that he's messed up. As simple as that. He'll apologise and that'll be the end of it. Look, let's be honest, though. Let's be honest. Let's look at the positives. We are currently top of the table. Doku was excellent. Foden was excellent today. All this narrative about Foden didn't need to be had. All this narrative about Haaland didn't need to be had. Haaland scored a good goal, look, we lost our head a little bit, but Grealish is always involved in the... Look, Grealish is great to come on and get involved in a scrap. I love Grealish involved in a scrap. He's just good at it at the end. He's good at getting inside people's heads. And I think we need to just remember, remember just these games, they sort of exist in a microcosm. You know what I mean? They aren't everything. They're not everything. You can have these games where things go wrong, but then it's no need to overanalyze it. When is Kovacic back? Pep said he's coming back. I think he'll be back for next weekend, I reckon. So he'll definitely be back for Arsenal. He said he's coming. I think he started training actually this week, so he'll be back for the next game, almost certainly. I saw an incredible stat here, by the way. You want to see this wonderful stat? Let me try and find it right now. This is a nice bit of information for you here. Let me try and find the stat. Where are we at? I'll find it in a second. I saw it on one desktop and I've got to go to the other now. Can we ban Anthony Taylor, by the way? I don't mind Anthony Taylor sending Rodri off. It was the right call. But Anthony Taylor was terrible today, man. Absolutely shockingly out of control for that whole game. Anthony Taylor, red card, right call. For the amount of times, man, he blew for a free kick for nothing when Ake was through on goal. Every other call was terrible. Every other call was terrible. The amount of kicks on Man City players, genuinely, so bad. So bad. Absolutely shocking. They was fouling us time and time again. Pep will be fuming about that. Absolutely rightfully so. But I've lost the stat for some reason. Here we go. I think I'm going to find it right now. One second. It's over here. This is an incredible stat. City's record in the Premier League at the Etihad this season, in 2023. Look at that. 21 competitive games at the Etihad. We have won all 21 in 2023. 68 goals and only 9 conceded. 13 clean sheets out of 21 at the Etihad in 2023. That's absolutely remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. Yeah, I mean, there's a fortress. There's no two ways about it. No two ways about it. Just so impressive. So impressive. And that, to me, is the take. Guys, if that's not worth a like for that stat, I don't know what is. Let's get the likes up. 300 people watching, 40 odd likes. We can do better than that. Like the video, subscribe, and help support the channel. Look, we look at... I don't think we can get 100 games in 2023, Elder. Do I have any idea why Rodri would behave this way? Yeah, I do, mate. I know exactly why Rodri would behave this way. You ready for this, everyone? Are you ready for this, everyone? I'm gonna give you the truth of why Rodri would behave this way. I hope you're all ready for it. And it's gonna blow your minds. It's gonna blow your minds why Rodri would behave this way. He's human. He's human. It's as simple as that, man. It's as simple as that. He lost his temper. It happens. We've all lost our temper. We've all lost our temper at some point. It's the first time in his career he's ever been sent off. That's it. He's human. There we go. I hope that answers your question for you. I would guess right now, Rodri feels top of the world, a bit confident. Someone got in his face. Someone wound him up. He pushed him, being the big man. That's it. He lost his temper. Probably, he might have even tried to push his chest, but didn't got his neck. You know what I mean? He effed up, mate. That's it. Simple as that. There's no deeper analysis. I think sometimes we look at moments like, why did Kyle Walker kick that guy during Leipzig? Do you remember when he kicked a guy? Kyle Walker's never done that. He lost his temper. Ultra competitive plays. Why did Zinedine Zidane headbutt that guy during the World Cup final, Materazzi? Lost his temper, man. Lost his temper. That's it. It's as simple as that. Everyone needs just to... it was a red card and he won't get reduced, Pac-Man. There's no chance. He just got himself sent off, because he was an idiot. And guess what? I've lost my temper before. You've lost your temper before. Everyone you know and love has lost a temper at some point, especially adrenaline-fueled, ultra-competitive athletes. Maybe it's as simple as what Marcus said. You can take the man out for Atleti, but you can't take the Atleti out of the man. Exactly. Nah, it's just... It's a red card. It's a red card. Aguero did it, Maybe Gibbs White did say something about Rodri's family. But you know what? I guarantee you Rodri said something about someone else's family at some point. You're all naive if you think City players don't see the same. Of course they do. It's a sport with immense testosterone flying about. They all say whatever. Look, if someone goes, your mum's or whatever, and they lose a temper... Grow up, man. Who cares? Everyone does it. I've said it. You've said it. We've all said it in the heat of the moment. It's childish stuff, mate. We heard that on the playground. He made a mistake. And it is what it is. I'm definitely not going to lose sleep over it, City players, they aren't so nice, mate. I guarantee you they wind them up. I'm looking forward to the Guardiola quotes, Kovacic sat in the stands, by the way, absolutely adorably. I think he's with his kid there, which is a beautiful little photo there. Sign him up, mate. What's his kid called? He's going to play for City one day. As a dad, I love that photo, I love it. I absolutely love it. I love his stats here for Foden, by the way. 1 goal, 66 touches, 96% fast accuracy, 49 completed, 6 ground duels won, 3 successful dribbles, 2 tackles, 2 clearances, 1 key pass, 1 interception. Lovely stuff from your man, Phil. Also got to give Foden the props. I will do a fan view live, Kevin. I will do indeed, mate. Yeah, there'll be a fan view live after this. We've got to give Foden the props. He was excellent in the second half. So good. He played like a leader, which is what I want to see. I love that from Phil. I love that work rate. Every now and then he steps up. That's it, and that's what matters to me. And to be honest, as well. Let's be honest, the only thing that really matters is 6 out of 6, honestly. I really do believe we have a tendency to overanalyze individual games when ultimately the only thing that ever matters is zooming out, looking at the bigger picture. Defensively, we were so good. They created next to nothing. This is a good Premier League side, man. You watch Diaz, corral those players. You watch Walker and Ake and Vardial, so good. And Edison's shot stopping seems to have got better. You can't complain from that. It seems to and then all you got to do is ask the team just to sort of manage the game, and at that point they did. Of course we can look at the Rodri's absence another time, but all you can do is look at the players on the pitch and say, did they step up and be counted? And they absolutely did. That is absolutely worth noting, because this is. It's a side sort of in flux. It's changing a little bit. There's players out. We're out De Bruyne, out with John Stones, Kovacic, Bernardo Silva. Some warriors there, man. Some Champions League winners there. Rodri wasn't on the pitch in the second half, But still, we found a way to win. We still found a way to win in the end, comfortably. At no point did it feel like we had our backs to the wall. And that is a testament and credit to the character of these players. Eddie right now, by the way, Edison, he's a perfect keeper right now. He's literally a perfect keeper. He tried to lose his head at one point, which is silly. What are you doing, mate? But he's a perfect keeper. Shot stopping excellent, sweeping excellent, passing excellent, claiming crosses. Edison right now is playing at a wonderful level, you know. Look, I am relaxed. And look, I already see the doom-mongers saying we're going to definitely lose against Arsenal. Like, when are you going to learn not to write this team off? When are you going to learn to trust this team? I don't know if we'll lose against Arsenal. But what I do know is that this Manchester City side would not be out of a title race in October. Don't be so stupid. Don't be so stupid. I love anyone who can predict a season based off one game. He's a liar. That's as simple as that. You're a liar if you are. And I suspect some people just love the attention, you know, or they're just inherently scared. No. City do not lose the league based on one season, one game. They never do. You know, City are too good. Let's look at Arsenal's fixtures going into this game. You know, what have Arsenal got before this game? Look, Pep will cook up something. He always does. Arsenal have got Spurs tomorrow. They might drop points there, mate. They might drop points tomorrow. They've got Bournemouth away. They'll beat that. But then they've got us. Before that, they've got Brentford and Lens. They'll win them. You know, they'll win those games until us. You know. I mean, regardless of how many's left in the team, the idea that one result would shape our entire season is of course nonsense and always will be nonsense. One game does not make a season. It never does, man. It never does. Guardiola said, and here's the quotes I've been waiting for, hopefully Rodri will learn. He has to control himself and his emotions. This is what he has to do. I can get a yellow card, but Rodri cannot get a yellow card. I do not play. The guys inside have to be careful. This is what you'd expect. Pep will come out, sage words. Look, to be honest, Rodri, the thing is, what we need to remember, people like Rodri and Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne, you don't have to berate them. They're too smart. They got the self-awareness, man. They've got the self-awareness. Like you don't. Facts over feelings. Yeah. It is difficult sometimes, mate. I read a lot of comments, and sometimes I have to sit there. I'm aware I'm not always right. I'm not always right. I think I'm more right than not, because that's my ego for you. But I'm not always right. I know I'm not. The thing is, you don't have to. You just don't have to berate people like Rodri. You tell them once, and they're smart enough to know. You know, like. I don't have to be told something a billion times. If I know I've done something wrong, I know it. I consider myself an intelligent person. I consider myself emotionally intelligent. And if I make a mistake, I just don't make it again. I say sorry to the people who've upset, and I don't do it again. You know? Rodri has only been sent off once in his career for a reason, because he's a smart footballer. Rodri will feel the pain from watching from the sidelines and costing his teammates, you know? Rodri is one of the captains, Michelangelo, like Vega. You know, like, he is one of the captains, mate. Rodri, he's only got himself to blame. I don't blame anyone other than Rodri. Rodri should not lose his temper in those moments. He just shouldn't. And he'll learn. You know, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. Victor, you lecturing me there, mate? If so, you can either apologise, or you can back off for not being condescending. I can talk about whatever I want on my channel, mate. Otherwise, just tune out if it bugs you. Harry says, Steve, are you worried about the midfield not being the same when we played Arsenal? We'll see. We'll see, mate. Do I think the midfield of Kovacic and Bernardo Silva is absolutely excellent? Yeah, it is. By the way, I'm 38 years old. No one can lecture me on this channno. No one can. I know I've got a baby face, but don't you dare lecture me and tell me how I can talk on my channel, everyone. No, touchy. I'm a 38-year-old man, mate. You don't tell me how I can talk. You don't get to do that. I don't know if no one gets to do that, you know, on my own channel. And if you don't like it, you can do one and go away somewhere else. Especially when I'm doing nothing other than talking to everyone else in the comments, you know. Yeah, Joe, you can try and lecture me, mate, but I'm nearly 40. I've been around the block long enough, especially when I'm not being rude to anyone. I'm not being rude to anyone, you know. I'm not being overly. I'm not whining either. I'm talking maturely, I think, about an awful lot of things. I'm looking at every angle. I don't think I'm whining. I think I'm being pretty fair all around. I think some people would agree. I'm not gonna happy clap. I'm not gonna overly moan. I think my view of the game has been really fair. You know, I think it is. I think we grinded out the result well. I think the players worked really hard, you know. It is what it is. But either way, the game is over. We won 6 out of 6. Kovacic can do as a double pivot. I don't see it. I want Nunes was good. I don't see it personally. I think Pep will lean on experience and ball retention. I think he'll go for something like this. I'll give you that, Tony. Whining about the whining. I agree about that. I think he'll go for something like this. Someone says I happy clap. Do I though? Do I though, mate? We've won the treble. Do I happy clap or do I point towards the brilliance that we're witnessing? I would say you don't appreciate what's in front of you, mate. Do I really happy clap or do I just point out that we're the best team in the world? Is that happy clapping? No, I'm right. Give me an example of happy clapping, mate. Give me an example of when I've done it in the past. I've told everyone to be patient. What's wrong with that, mate? I've been around the block long enough. Anyway, guys, I don't think I happy clap. I think I actually just call it as I see it. Guys, thank you for watching this video anyway. For now, we've won 6 out of 6. I'm very happy about that. There will be a fan view live. If you want to chat to me in the fan view live, I'll be live in I'm going to go live at 6 o'clock for the fan view live. Patreons, members, you know the usual link as always. I'll see you there. We've won 6 out of 6. Foden worked hard. Edison worked hard. Rodri was a naughty boy, but he will learn his lessons. That is all that matters. That's all that ever matters. City do learn the lessons. They do improve and they do focus. As Guardiola said here, the game was incredible 35 minutes, but when it became chaos, it's not a responsibility, that's sure. What happens after is not on us. Apparently he said it's Anthony Taylor's fault, which is interesting and touchy. We will see. We will see. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in a bit for the Fan View Live.